A pastor's wife says she was graced by God to prepare her husband for his mistress visit.
This woman might know something I don't know.
It might be something that they've talked about between the two of them. They might have an open relationship. She might just be a sucker for love.
A lot of times, people are living marriage for other people.
Where your husband at now? You don't know. But she knows where her man is.
Was it really God that led you that way? So was it your own inner voice of insecurities and self-consciousness?
She's probably giving him the best cuckoo, and he's going to get the best cuckoo somewhere else. That man is winning.
On the Dear Future Wifey podcast, a pastor's wife by the name of Kelley Steele. And I'm saying this with a smile on my face because, believe me, this is going to get pretty toxic for me. Says she was graced by God to prepare her husband for his mistress visit. She ironed his clothes, packed his suitcases. She was preparing her husband for the mistress visits, and this was through the grace of God. So with that being said, I would love to hear y'all thoughts on this. Did this woman need some thoughts and prayers? I don't know. But what are your thoughts? Because the internet reacted wildly to this.
I think this is a good woman, and you guys could learn a few things from her, not just the ironing and, supporting her man, but you know what? Letting him be himself. And getting on board. I think we need more of this. See, this is part of the hubris of some women is it never occurs to you, you know what? This woman might know something I don't know. She might have a little slice of the game that I could use. Well, where your husband at now? You don't know. But she knows where her man is, which is more than a lot of women can say. Salute to her. Shout out to her. We should give her a medal. Maybe Donald Trump will give her one. We don't know. But I'm with it. That is transparency. We've talked about this. So I know S&M, you're going to be a little toxic, and I think T is over there being a little toxic.
A little bit, maybe from a different angle. I love this for her. Like she should think that God gave her a blessing in order to be able to do for her man what she feels is right. Right? Who am I to judge if she chooses to cater to her relationship by giving her man special gifts? It might be something that they've talked about between the two of them. They might have an open relationship. They might be lifestyle or poly. She might just be a sucker for love. Who knows? But if she likes it, I love that for her. And if she feels like it's God's blessing, she's probably giving him the best cuckoo, and he's going to get the best cuckoo somewhere else. That man is winning. Life is good for everybody.
Yes. And yes. And this is the part that I love the most, right? How she invoked God into it. In all seriousness, as a married person, I try to encourage people to live marriage the way that they feel like it needs to be lived. A lot of times, people are living marriage for other people. And I get that church and religion is a strong impact, right? But I feel like God is omnipresent, omni-knowing, right? Omnipotent, all that. So God knows what's in your heart. God knows what's even in your loins. You dig what I'm saying? And so God sent him, the husband, the pastor, I believe he was a leader of the church too, right? He was like, hey, I'm going to send you a wife who's going to hold you down in the ways you need to be held down. You feel what I'm saying? So maybe she wasn't the looker that you probably deserve for real. Maybe she wasn't giving you the toppy that you needed for real. But when it came to bearing your children, when it came to doing bookkeeping, when it came to being able to iron and cook and clean, she was able to give you the strength, the helpmate that you needed. She took helpmate to a whole different level. You dig what I'm saying? And I know it's hard for people oh, what you mean? You helped him get ready to but think about this, right? If she wasn't trying to have sex with him, old girl was probably doing her a favor. Girl, you know what? Take my light work. I don't want that. He provided for me. He's a leader in his household. He's a leader in the community. But I don't feel like sucking his dick. So hell yeah, baby, let me get you right. You know what I'm saying? So Shorty can take care of you. I feel like marriage, especially with what? Marriage with them, it requires sacrifice. So what did she sacrifice? What? Just a little ironing? A little kiss on the cheek? Hey, babe, have a good time. I'll see you later. The nigga still came home. Some of y'all be prioritizing the wrong thing. I bet he checked a lot of the leadership, a lot of the provision, a lot of the protector boxes that she needed checked. And if she recognized that she was not of the ilk when it came to how he needed with the silk in terms of his boxers, in terms of his drawers, and she was willing to help him, God bless her. And lastly, she said graced by God. I think what she meant was the understanding, the enlightenment, the understanding that our union is so far beyond the metaphysical for real, for real. So am I going to get in the way of God's purpose for me on this planet to serve not only my husband, but the people because he wanted to get some trim from around the way? Kudos to her, man. Kudos to her.
Somehow she still became the bad guy with all of God's grace. She wasn't giving him enough pussy at home, so she had to be a good enough woman to let him go get it somewhere else because she couldn't fulfill his needs. Somehow, in all her grace and glory,
how'd you hear that as a bad guy?
we have that is.
How'd you hear that as a bad guy?
How do we know she's not giving him no pussy?
See, you just real quick, you characterized that as a bad thing, right? And I did not. I gave a scenario where I felt like a lot of y'all can't understand why this is happening. And I think there's a lot of women in relationships who abdicate their responsibilities sexually, right? And so I'm just imagining a scenario where there are women who can learn from this because what that woman said was that her relationship was far greater than her need to control her man's penis. Her relationship with God spoke to her.
S&M, get him.
So look, I just want to add some additional context because no, that's not what happened in that relationship. That's not what happened in that relationship. As a matter of fact, he went on to talk about how he wasn't even attracted to her. He didn't like her.
I said that.
She chased him down like Urkel. Right. What I'm saying is, I understood that part of it, but I'm providing it for the people to say his words. His words was like, he said he wasn't attracted to her because she wasn't his preference. He was chasing his preference. She was like Urkel and she wore him down. And finally, he was like, you know what? Let me do this woman whenever's clever. So initially, she didn't even know she was helping him go. Like she chose to, after he cheated on her numerous times, then she chose to accept this.
That wasn't cheating.
So he started off.
She pinned him down and he told her what was up repeatedly because in that same clip, she talked about how he called her
he
out.
Was not attractive and she was ugly.
He told her what she's admitted that he told her what was up. So that's why I said
crazy.
That's why I said like she knew what time it was. But she still got the provision. She still got the relationship. She still got the husband, the position in the church. She still got a good deal.
Not if you have a partner who's calling you ugly.
Because, come on, man, she valued certain things. Who are we to say that she's not
she doesn't
in the
value
right
herself.
To value what she values?
She doesn't value herself.
It's so easy for us to say that, but have you seen her? Tell me, have you seen her?
Wow,
anybody in a relationship with in a marriage does not deserve to be talked to and treated that way. And they also do not deserve to be cheated on and have somebody else looked at as more appealing than they are. If you think that's a healthy relationship, it's not. And it's toxic. And you know it. That nigga was also nigga shit, and she's a sucker for love. She probably has low self-esteem. There's bigger things at play here. Y'all love a woman to be a play toy.
I don't want to mess up the brand because toxic is not what you're describing. That's toxic is what you're describing, right?
Definitely.
Toxic is what I do. It's how S&M and I, we get a little fun with it, some level of balance. But what you're describing is a little toxic.
It's very toxic.
And what I'm simply, and I know S&M want to go ahead and just talk her talk, but all I'm simply saying is I don't judge people. And if they have a covenant before God, I was not at their wedding. They chose to make a covenant. They chose to make a commitment to each other. And she was speaking to that. So for me, I try to honor people where they're at, what they're saying, because other than the clip and what they're telling us, we don't know for real. And that woman says she was graced by God. And she sat there and told her truth in front of the fucking world and had no shame about it. So kudos to her and whatever our judgment is. But she's going to be married to the nigga tomorrow and it's going to be what it's going to be. But go ahead, SNL.
So I would concur that she's going to be married to him tomorrow, the next day, because if she hunted him down like Urkel until he was like, fine, let me just give you a shot, then obviously that's where she wanted to be in the first place. I'm not knocking the fact that she wanted to be, but to the other women out there, if you not his number one, she wasn't even his number two, to be honest, or maybe he thought she looked like number two and that's why he treated her like number two, but whatever's clever. So when you talk about through the grace of God, this confuses me because I'm like, that's not how God speaks about grace, nor is that how he speaks about love. So when you tell me these things and you're putting it on God that led you that way, was it really God that led you that way? And if you're hearing that voice, was it really God's voice, or was it your own inner voice of insecurities and self-consciousness and thankfulness that you got this man and get to keep this man because he's in a powerful position? That was talking, because I don't understand this type of God that tells you to be with somebody who's constantly shitting on you and who's putting you down. And as a matter of fact, I'm glad that he's in an open relationship, as in she accepts his mistress, because adultery was actually listed as one of the 10 commandments, as in thou shalt not. So before he got into to her being accepting because of grace by God, he was into that adultery category as a pastor of the church. But they say all men have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. So I'm not here to judge him for his sinning, you know what I'm saying? Because that's between him and his God. But what I will say for other women, don't let religion get you acting stupid out here. Because religion, particularly when I say religion, I'm going to be more precise. When I say religion, I mean man's religion, not your spirituality or your connection with God. Because if you go to church will tell you, oh, you need to stick to that man because that's the demon of lust that's in him. That's why he keep cheating on you. Oh, he an alcoholic? That's the demon of alcohol that's on him. You need to pray for him and you need to do this for him. Versus recognizing that you have your own wants and needs and desires, as well as the need to have psychological safety in your own damn relationship. And so I'm just going to say, just be careful who you choose and what you choose, because to me, this sounded like foolery, and it was not. But she said it was God's grace. So I'm going to let her have God's grace, because maybe that was God's grace talking to her so she can accept this form of foolery. So she can be like, well, God told me this, because I'd rather have this illusion of God telling me this versus recognizing this is my choice. I actually chose this. Versus saying, but I can rely back and say, oh, this was God's grace, because now I look holy moly, especially since I'm the first lady. Go ahead, girl. I see you.
It's funny. This is actually going to lead right into the next story, because I feel like y'all have a lack of imagination as women. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all act like there aren't. I'm just going to give you a quick scenario, right? If that woman wanted a pastor, like let's say she targeted a pastor because she valued being with a man of the cloth in that community. And she said she's willing to pay whatever the cost is because she has a target on that particular pastor. She had the choice of dating Ronald from up the street, who would have gave her love and treated her like a queen, but she had a desire for the life that pastor would ever provided, right? In that scenario, is it possible that it's not a self-esteem issue? It is more of what she chooses to prioritize and or put up with. Because put the emotions to the side, people deal with and make conscious decisions to deal with things beneficial and non-beneficial all the time. So I get what y'all saying. I'm not taking nothing away from the religious part, S&M. I agree with you. And I'm also not taking nothing away from women who have low self-esteem. But when I say y'all have a lack of imagination, it seems like y'all can't imagine there are some women out there who prioritize something differently than what y'all would prioritize. And because of the position that she is coming from, she recognizes that, yes, she ain't the cutest thing. But so she was ugly her whole life. That's not bothering her. She had a vision. She knew what she wanted. And she went out there and got it, for God's sakes. Right? And so, yeah, we look from judgment, but her priorities could be different.